Hello, and welcome to another episode on the Move.Talk.Thrive podcast. Lizzy Dawson here, and today I am super excited to share with you something that has really bolstered my confidence as a pediatric exercise physiologist, and that is my journey with research. So I want to unpack today how it has influenced me to be able to give me the confidence to go out there and create and share and advocate and network and all of those things. What that journey has looked like from consuming to now actively being a part of research projects and the not so obvious benefits and like the good bits and the bad bits that I've experienced in my journey with research. So I thought that'd be a really good thing to share with you today. So with that being said, let's get started.
We are child development obsessed, business besties, and mums, and we're here to spill all our secrets.
We have a combined 30 years experience working with children, and each episode we will bring you up-to-date research and evidence-based strategies to set your children up to thrive.
I'm Lizzy Dawson, Australian exercise physiologist.
I'm Emily Mackey, Australian speech pathologist,
And this is the Move.Talk.Thrive podcast.
Okay, so research, love it. I feel like research has been such a big part of my journey. I think that it's given me so much confidence. When I started out, no exercise physiologists were working with children, and there were no courses, and I didn't have any experience. So I literally found myself in libraries starting to research movement for holistic development. And I was blown away at all this data around movement and language and, movement in the sensory system and movement and cognitive skills. And I was like, I'm doing this, and realized the potential and the benefit of movement programs for children. And so I then started to write everything down so that I could help onboard new team members, basically. And that's where my course was born. So my course is just riddled with research. And I just find myself reading research articles every week. This morning, I got Claude to put together a like 50 articles that I want to now go and read and understand. And I'm just constantly drawn back to research. And so I found that it was such a important piece in, I think, making me feel confident to put myself out there, create this program, and really market it and just share with the world the benefits of movement for children. So I feel like it only felt natural to go down the pathway of looking at research, but it was something I was really scared to do. So I thought it'd be a good thing to talk about with you guys today, because there were so many unexpected pieces and benefits and all the things, basically. So I thought, yeah, it'd be really good to unpack. So I want to talk about why I said yes to research. And so I partnered with the University of Queensland for them to do an independent review of my program, because my dream has always been to impact more children than I could personally see myself. I knew very early on that there was a demand for movement therapy for children. And originally, that for me was in early childhood setting. So I just knew from how much interest I was getting, the way people were responding, the way children were responding in the program, that there was something to this. And I knew that I couldn't sustainably go and see every single child or go into every single center and help all the children. So I always wanted to scale it. But in order to do that, I needed to, I guess, package what I had learned in my experience and what was working for me in a way that I could train other people, whether that be parents, educators, other allied health professionals. And I felt like the research piece of it was really instrumental, because initially it gave me that confidence. But what I wanted to then do is show exactly what I was doing with the movement. So take all of that already existing research and the benefits of various movement programs and protocols for holistic development for children. And I really wanted to validate what I was doing with Pilates in early learning centers. I wanted to contribute to the evidence-based practice. I wanted to influence practice and practitioners. I wanted to create bigger opportunities for exercise physiologists in pediatrics because I knew that I had the potential for a bigger impact and to reach more children. And I saw that research being a really pivotal piece in that story and journey of mine. So I partnered with UQ, and UQ did a pilot study investigating the impact of my Kids Heart Pilates program on motor skills, cognitive development, social emotional development, and physical activity levels. And it was conducted in early learning centers and over a 10-week period, with around, well, I think it was about 30 children. So we had obviously a Pilates group that was participating in a 10-week program, and then we're still doing the control group. So we've got one more data set to collect. And yeah, what it will allow us to see, obviously, is the impact of the Kids Heart Pilates program over a 10-week period, which is super cool. So what I found in the process, and I really want to talk about the process of the research, not necessarily the research itself, because it's not finished. So I will share that with you when it's finished. But what I found in this whole embarking on, getting data on my program through a university was that it was so much easier to set it up than I had anticipated. They want data, researchers want data. So I emailed the head of human movement studies at UQ, and I actually looked him up, and he had so much pediatric research experience and papers behind him, like it was ridiculous. And his name is John Kearney, from UQ, and he was a Canadian, and yeah, just so much pediatric research. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so well, this is such a good fit. So I emailed him. I was so nervous to do it. Anyway, he responded within 24 hours and was like, we need to have a coffee. This sounds like it'd be a really good fit. So what I found was they were actually really keen to do the research, whereas I thought I would be, having to really sell it. But they want data. They want to do the research, and then what I guess I realized was that they would guide the process. I didn't need to be a researcher to do it. Although there are conversations of PhDs in this whole journey, and that's something that I will keep in mind, of course. But what I realized was that we already had so many systems in place. We didn't need to become academics. We had the client base, we had the data. We had the subjects there to collect the data. What I didn't realize was that it was going to be quite expensive. I don't know why I didn't realize that. We did originally go for a grant, but we did not get that grant. And so it did take quite a bit of, and I guess in the big scheme of things, it's not a lot of money, but I put in money for it. So it did cost money for the researchers to do it. So I guess I could have been more involved in the data collection, but I've sent team members along for the data selection. We also had to the program that we delivered for the 10 weeks I also kind of provided that. It did take quite a lot of time. There's lots of contracts to sign. And I think I think if I had more time, it wouldn't have been as expensive. But if you're, working full time, and you don't get a grant, then you do need to contribute to the cost, because it costs a lot for the researchers' time and the equipment and whatnot. And I needed support around me to contribute to that, I think. But what we have found, so a little bit on the research. So we've done the Pilates group, we're doing the control group, so we can't actually have that comparison, but we found that there was significant improvement in gross motor skills, so the stand up and go, the standing long jump, and then there was also a significant improvement in inhibitory control, so an executive function skill, but no significant change in balance, which was really, really interesting over that 10-week period. But of course, we need to see that control group. So what didn't surprise me was that we did not only see motor skill improvements, but those significant improvements in that inhibitory control. And that was so much apart, because so much research shows the benefits of movement for cognitive skills, social emotional skills, and all of those holistic pieces. And I really wanted to demonstrate the links between my program and those skills, and we did see that. So I cannot wait to see all of the data when it comes out. But the unexpected benefits of being involved in the research, because just being involved in it, and I was very driven by evidence-based impact, data, and just really having that kind of clinical basis and backing behind me. What I didn't really realize was how amazing it would be for my clinical and professional growth, that further research projects would follow from it, and have followed from it. The recruitment benefits, and just a bit of like PR, I guess, without actually, have any interviews or anything like that, but just from a word of mouth and a recognition within the university. Recruitment, major benefits to say, in the recruitment process, we have partnered with UQ. They're doing an independent study on our program. This will allow you to be a part of that process. And any further processes, we are really driven. I think it just really ties like the pieces together of the mission and what we're wanting to achieve, what we're willing to do, and being a real piece in that journey of providing data, clinical backing, evidence-based decisions, and practice and best practice, and being a real piece in that, I think goes a really long way to demonstrate your mission, I think. So it really ties in those values, the way that it speaks to your mission, and recruitment, I think. So that's been a really amazing piece. It's also been really helpful in networking, in giving me confidence to be a part of advocacy teams, giving me confidence, and just demonstrating what I'm here to do and what I'm driven by, in terms of like being recognized as a leader in the field, being recognized by ESSA, and demonstrating what what my work is. I feel like it's been a real anchor in that. What happened was, there was a real ripple effect. So we started this research. Then one of the honors students wanted to do a qualitative study on my program. So we then were a part of another research project, which is also yet to be published. But that was where we were exploring. So they did interviewing with the early childhood educators on our program and the outcomes of our program. We also were involved in another research project with a gross motor assessment with autistic children. So just being a part of that process. And I think what originally I really wanted to get was, understanding how we could assess children at scale. And we've seen so many different ways, and we don't actually use the current assessments. It's just given us so much confidence in terms of how we're assessing, even doing it in a different way. And I think that's just that really key piece of having that clinical confidence and clinical reasoning behind you, so that you can be really flexible in the way that you do things, because you can clinically justify or back, or it's evidence-based. Like, you've got all of this kind of theory and knowledge behind you just through this experience. So I think that's been really amazing for me to be a part of, and just see, being a part of various different research projects and talking to the researchers. I get really excited by that, and just how excited that they get by our program as well, which is really, really exciting. So one of the biggest lessons, I think, is that research creates relationships, and relationships create opportunities. And I think that I've really, really seen that during this process, that we connecting with so many different people during this process. And that has been such an amazing experience of being exposed to different opportunities, and, opportunities where you're like, and I just look at things differently. Like, I've learned so much through it. And now I'm working with Proactive, and working on what data we should be collecting, so that we too can be contributing to, evidence-based practice and data and advocating and all of these things. So I think I find that it's really given me that confidence to create those relationships and network and speak on it, and be really confident when we're having those conversations in a room, of really established business owners, and then I think that has created a lot of opportunity for me. I'm constantly surprised by the amount of opportunity that I get just simply from sharing what I've done. And that's really just, if I come back to it, just that drive to help more children. And I think every decision I make, and the research being one of those, links back to that and demonstrates my values for clinical, evidence-based practice and best practice, and yeah, all of it tied in together. So I feel like this research has changed my business before it's even been finished. I feel like I've realized, and what I'm encouraging from you, for you to take away from this, is that you don't need to be an academic. Universities are looking for partners, they're looking for data, particularly at the moment. You can start small, start conversations. You can just email universities and start thinking about what it is that you would be really passionate about. And I feel like the benefits go so far beyond the publication. I think that the confidence, the authority, and the opportunities that come for it are second to none. And for me, every step towards research gets us closer to that mission that I am, all about, just scaling and really showing everyone how amazing movement is for children, and mostly showing children that joy in movement and connecting their bodies to development. Even some of the research I was reading this morning, it was just, it gets me so excited. So I wanted to share this journey with you because I thought it was a really special one, and I think it might motivate some people to get out there and take that step to, participating in some research, whether it's just like, hey, you guys can come and use our clients if you're looking for any clients for data, or I would like to be a part of research. But I think being a part of it, and the people that you meet along the way, and what you become aware of in terms of how it's collected and what's happening in the other papers that are there, I think is really special. So I just wanted to share that with you. I don't know whether you can hear. Usually I move my dogs out of my office when I do a podcast, but I was just realizing while I was talking, my dog is under there and she is snoring away. So, and my other one is over there. I have two bulldogs and they snore. So this is my white noise. So I don't know whether you can hear that. I will listen back to see if you can. So if you can hear it, that is what that is. Anyway, thanks, guys. As always, please share, like, review our podcast. And I hope you found this inspiring or interesting if you've never thought about research, inspiring if you are thinking about it. And yeah, send the email. All right, see you guys. Bye.